right, hello and welcome in everyone on this wonderful Thursday. Actually, it's not that wonderful because this is the second straight day towards the end of April where the Midwest is getting snowed on, and I just am baffled. I thought we were done with this, but apparently, as is always, the Midwest just decides to do whatever it wants to do when it comes to weather. So if you are watching from somewhere where you have received no snow accumulation in the past few days, congratulations, I'm jealous. So we're going to talk about some news that came out yesterday from the NFL, and that was the myriad of rule changes that they will be implementing this year. And there's some interesting ones in there, like that we could just gloss over really quickly, like, no overtime in preseason anymore, which I can't even believe we've had overtime in preseason for this long. How did this not get axed like years ago? I'm just over the whole preseason thing, and I think most people are anyway. But it is, kind of nice to, see the rookies play and some of the guys buried on the depth chart get an opportunity. But I'm not really interested too much in the rule changes as I am in the uniform changes. And going forward, at least for right now, it seems like for this year and next year, players will have the opportunity to change their numbers because they have shifted the number allocation in terms of what positions can wear which numbers. And we're going to have some interesting possibilities on the horizon for some of these players. So, long story short, the skill position groups can now change their numbers if they wish to go to single digits, which I think a lot of players might be enticed to do. We've already seen some of those instances around the league of players not necessarily saying they're going to do that, but sort of giving fans an idea of what that might look like. DJ Moore of the Carolina Panthers was one of those players to do that on social media yesterday, and there was a few others. So what we're looking at is an opportunity for players to, keep their old numbers coming out of college. And then I believe that the reason that this occurred was because of the expanded practice squad. So there's just not enough numbers to go around. And then, you could even compact that on with retired numbers by teams, but that's a different conversation for a different day. So we're looking at, I believe the expansion goes from 1 to 49 for wide receivers and then 88 to 89. So there's a lot of opportunities that we will see that players can go from their current number to a new number. So for the Vikings, how does this impact them? Well, yesterday, it looked like Cam Dantzler was one of the few that spoke out on social media about apparently potentially switching back to number 3. And he even threw in the idea that if he were to do this, he would do a signing for anybody that had previously purchased the 27 jersey. Although he seemed to walk that back today, he made another post on his Twitter account not that long ago saying that it seemed to signal that 27 was here to stay for him. Who else? Justin Jefferson also went on social media and said that 18 was here to stay. That number means a lot to him, so we're not going to see Justin Jefferson switch anytime soon, at least not this year. One of the things that I think that might hang up players switching this year as opposed to next year is that if they were to switch this year, they would have to buy out the entire inventory of their current jerseys from manufacturers because of the number switch, because they've already been produced. They're already available for sale. You could go buy a 27 Cam Dantzler. You could go buy an 18 Justin Jefferson today, right now. If they decide to do it next year, if they put in the notification that they're going to switch in 2022, they would not be required to do the buyout of the current inventory. So that's probably why you won't see many change this year. Other players on the Vikings team that could potentially change, I think Dalvin Cook is definitely a possibility. He's hinted at that during this entire process about going back to his old number from Florida State. And then this brings everything to, full circle conversation about how we feel in general about purchasing NFL jerseys with the potential for these numbers to change. We're kind of in a gray area right now. Yes, players are coming out and publicly stating that they're not going to change, but they could always change their minds. Nothing is set in stone. I myself have not purchased a Vikings jersey since last year when I bought a Harrison Smith away jersey. And I don't think there's any risk of him changing his number anytime soon. So I'm pretty confident that what I have will stay what it is. Now, for the rest of you, I haven't purchased a Justin Jefferson jersey yet. I've been holding out on that. I'm definitely going to get around to it sometime soon. But when it came out that the numbers could potentially change and, there's been speculation that maybe he goes back to the number 2, I was like, ooh, wow, good thing I waited, because I would be a little unfortunate. It would be a little unfortunate to purchase something and then a few months later, it's now obsolete, if you will. So, but he has come out and said that he's not going to do that. So my question to you is, how do you feel about this in terms of purchasing or something that you've already purchased, potentially changing in the future? And then do you feel obligated to have to buy the new jersey because it's the new number, it's the updated version, it's the newer version? Or are you pretty good with the legacy number if they do change? So let's say that Dalvin Cook changes from 33. I believe his college number at Florida State was 4. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong there. Would you feel obligated to purchase the new one? Do you believe that you don't have to because you have the old school one, right? You were a fan originally before the switch. Let me know what you think about that. I mean, this happens in basketball a lot. You know, we've seen LeBron James and Kobe Bryant change numbers. It's definitely an opportunity for fans to, or at least give them an excuse to buy more grab of their favorite team or their favorite player. So let me know what you think in the comments below. That is where we stand on this issue for right now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.